It's 7:45, 64 degrees and on toward 95 or so this afternoon. Our update brought to you by Intralinks, and here's Kevin.
Thank you, Dennis, and good morning, everyone. And our guests today are Bev Russell. We also have Annie Folck here and Amy Sieler as well. We're going to talk about the landscaping project over at Lied Scottsbluff Library. And I guess to get it all started, we'll ask Bev, first of all, this landscaping was always going to be part of the whole entire expansion at the library, right?
Yeah, we had always planned on doing something special, a learning garden effect at the library. It got deleted from the original project because of cost. We didn't want to go over cost, but this is something that we're going to start on this fall, and Annie and Amy can tell you a lot more about it. They're the experts in what's going to happen. I don't know plants, I just know people who know plants.
All right, that's a very good thing to do. That's what we did with Amy, got her started on our lawn, and you picked the right person to start on yours. You've done some great jobs with the hospital as well. So Amy, talk about what you have designed for the library. Just a number of things. I guess a rain garden, there's a whole bunch of other stuff, grasses and plants. Talk about exactly what your vision is for the library landscape.
Well, the vision for the landscaping basically is to serve the community in many aspects. Have recreational areas also.
It's been an interesting morning here at KNEB today, folks.
Okay, I'm sorry about that. Basically, we want to have some recreational areas where kids can play frisbee, football, areas that they can use for the summer reading program, a little small staging area where they can seat about 400 to 500 kids, and I think that we're going to accomplish that. Also, like Bev said, we want it to be very educational, so we are hoping that we can display an excellent xeric landscape for our community. We will incorporate buffalo grass and some other native grasses, and also native plantings that we can demonstrate conserving water but creating an attractive landscape at the same time. Also, on the east side of the library, Annie Folck and I have been working on creating a bioswale, just kind of so that we can teach our community how to just have clean water that's going in our storm drains. And I think we're pretty excited about this, and Annie's done a lot of work getting money for this project, and she's really the educator on the bioswale part of the project.
All right, so let's talk to Annie here and find out about the bioswale. And I guess first of all, you were the one that Annie is an employee at the library.
No.
For the city.
Oh, for the city, okay. All right. So, an employee for the city. So, you were the one that initially got a grant going for this project. Explain how that worked.
Right. Well, actually, the grant we have is for several different projects. We have $55,000, $30,000 of which is going to be spent on tree planting, and $25,000 which is to be spent on stormwater quality landscaping projects. And so, since this is a fairly small area at the library, we're going to start out putting about $1,500 of that grant money towards a bioswale, which is basically just a planted area that helps treat the stormwater. All of the water that comes off of the roof of the library will be filtered through all the grasses and plants, and hopefully more of it will be infiltrated into the ground because of all the native plantings there.
Wow, you really act like you know what you're talking about. Hey, wow. What part of the city do you work in? Maybe Rick Kukan's job is in jeopardy. I'm not totally sure. Where do you work with the city?
I am the stormwater coordinator for the city, and so I work with the wastewater and water departments.
Okay. All right, very good. So the whole idea, and when you applied for this grant, what agency did you have to go through in order to get the grant?
This is through the Nebraska Forestry Service and the Nebraska Statewide Arboretum.
Okay. And you applied for the grant, and how long did it take before you got word that you were going to get it?
Well, it took about a month and a half. We found out in June that we had it, so since then we've been lining up projects for it.
Okay. And obviously this bioswale is, this project's going to be done in phases. So is this one of the phases that's being done this fall?
This is kind of to get us started with our grant and do some demonstration things to show people what we have in mind. And then depending on other areas of the library landscape, we may be able to use a little more of this grant money for the rest of the landscape as well.
All right. So how long, I guess, Amy, how long is it going to take to get all this done? I know this is being done in phases. We're going to talk after the break about the Spencer Lakes project, but how long does it take to get all this done and for the whole entire project to be completed and have everything planned?
Well, basically, you know, it all depends on money, Kevin. And so I think once the money is raised, we want to put in the infrastructure first. We want to have sidewalks and irrigation and things like that put in first. That's our priority. And also the seating area for the summer reading program. That's critical that we get that taken care of so that it's able to be used next summer. Then hopefully our goal is to have the main layout done by next summer, and then we can be incorporating plants as more money becomes available. So it's all about funding.
All right. And we'll tell you how you can help donate to this and talk about Spencer Lakes project right after this. Okay.
Geez, Kevin, I was going to have to start paying her a salary.
Holy cow, you might think about hiring her.
Yeah, well, you know, I knew where to go to find somebody who knew what she's talking about.
Holy
I know.
So, Spencer Lakes project, who do I go to?
Well, Amy and Annie both are working with me on
Annie,
that,
know
and
quite
that's
a
the
bit about it.
bioswale.
Annie is the main.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, and then I'll talk to you about donations. All right, we are back on News Extra. A very interesting discussion about the Lied Library Garden that is planned for the Scottsbluff Public Library. And we do have an Eagle project that is part of this by Spencer Lake. And Annie, talk about what Spencer Lake wants to do in regards to this project.
Well, on the east side of the library, we have a little area there where the roof drains come off, and they drain into that area before they run across where the landscaping would be before going into the storm drain, which makes it a perfect place for a bioswale. And it's about the right size that it's going to make a terrific project for Spencer to put in and be a demonstration to show people what a bioswale looks like.
All right, so what kind of plants are involved in a bioswale?
Basically, you just take native plants that are native to this area that don't take a lot of inputs, they don't need a lot of water, they don't need a lot of fertilizer, and they grow really good roots, which helps with infiltration and helps with treating the water.
All right, so what, any specific type of plants that we're going to use there?
Amy can tell you more about the plants she has picked out.
All right.
Basically what we'll be using is a lot of grasses. They are an excellent filter. We will be using switchgrass, little blue stem, things like that. And then we'll incorporate some perennials in for color. These may not necessarily be native, but they've been adapted to our area. So we will be using coneflower and rudbeckia, some Jupiter's beard, and we will also have some shrubs in there as well, kind of holding slopes, and that would be like Grollo sumac and Pawnee Butte sand cherry. So it actually will be a landscape that will be very, very interesting for all seasons, with the ornamental grasses and the seed heads on the flowers, and for winter, and then great fall color and spring interest. It's really going to be a really nice display.
All right, very good. And there's ways you can donate. Real quick, we'll go to Bev. Explain how folks can donate to this project. I know you need what, about $60,000 for this project?
We're estimating it'll be about $60,000, and we want to get as much grant money as we can, but we're not going to be able to pay for the whole thing with grants. And so people who are interested in donating and interested in seeing a beautiful landscape outside the library can donate to the Scottsbluff Public Library Foundation, and they can either come into the library and leave a check, or mail it to the library, and we will see that it gets gets deposited in the right account.
All right, very good. So that's how you can help out with this project. Very interesting project, and we'll watch Annie's rise to city manager in the next few years. All right. Very good. Thanks, you guys, for coming in. Appreciate it. Okay, back to you, Dan.
Okay, and
Nailed it, Annie.
you can kiss your dog goodbye. That's it for you, Annie. Sorry. It's been nice knowing you.